Essequibo, are we ready for victory? I can't hear you. Are we ready for victory? I want Georgetown to hear you guys, right? I stand before you today, and I couldn't feel prouder to be amongst you today. My heart swells to see you turn out in such large numbers to support the PPPC, the party that has and will continue to make a difference in Guyana. I was born in Coffee Grove, but later moved to Regina, just a few corners from where we're standing this afternoon. Growing up, I always wanted to be a doctor and to serve my people. That dream was made a reality by the PPPC government. Guyana, but they top the Caribbean, and that's something to be proud of. We had new roads that were built right across the region. You can remember how long it took us to reach to Georgetown. They introduced, the PPPC government introduced the roll-on and roll-off ferries. When it took us 4 hours to get to Georgetown, that time was reduced to 1.5 hours. This made access to Georgetown much more convenient, and it also promoted our businesses. Let's talk about the housing schemes that were opened. For the first time, low-income families were able to have a home and a plot of land. Comrades, our healthcare system, what happened? We had, for the first time, Saudi Hospital was converted into a diagnostic center. We were able to offer services like ultrasounds and x-rays, services that were not previously available. Doctors were occupying positions for the first times in health center. Before that, we didn't have doctors in health center. You know this. We, as Esquebians, had overall better quality of life. We had better health care. But what happened to us after 2015, Esquebians? We had numerous problems after 2015. Drains and irrigation were not properly and irrigation systems were not properly maintained. Unemployment increased in Region 2. What sense does it make that we have kids who are graduating with numerous subjects and cannot get jobs? We as parents, we make enormous sacrifices for our children, and then they graduate and then there's no jobs. Let's talk about how the suicide has skyrocketed in the region. What about crimes? What about crimes, my fellow Esquebians? We are a peaceful county. We are not accustomed to crimes. What about our rice sector? What about our rice farmers? We know that it's our livelihood here. We have always been about rice. Now we find that rice production cost has increased. Our farmers are producing at a loss. Some cannot even afford to pay their mortgages and are barely keeping their heads afloat. I have first-hand experience about the health sector here and how the quality of healthcare has deteriorated. Now we go to the hospitals and there's no medicines. Equipment are broken or they're being repaired. Services that were previously being offered are no longer offered. What about lack of our medical staff? Our nurses are overworked, underpaid. There are not enough enumeration packages for them. What sense? They took away our gratuity, that money we as doctors look forward to every 6 months. Our contracts were not renewed. What sense does it make investing so much money in healthcare professionals when they're not properly recompensated? We invest our people only to have them leave? No country that wants development is going to encourage brain drain. I would like to continue to make a difference in our country. With that, I endorse the PPPC. Their manifesto has a clear plan to tackle these problems. It also has vision to modernize Guyana. So, Essequibo, I am positive that the PPP can continue a trajectory of development, not only for us, but also for the entire country. We know that we have always been loyal to the PPP in good times and in bad times. Come March 2nd, who are we voting for? PPP, come together. What does it want? Let's put our X next to the cup. Vote PPPC.